Hafa, I'm Nestor LeConte with the Pacific Daily News. Here are our top stories from the PDN Newsroom. Only 4% of Guam Department of Education students in their junior year of high school met or exceeded standards in math assessments, while 21% met or exceeded standards in English and language arts. That's based on data in the latest annual State of Public Education report. Unacceptably low was how Education Superintendent Eric Swanson called student math and reading scores in his first annual State of Public Education address just last month. He said GDOE is looking to identify the root cause of those scores. The persistent struggle to improve educational outcomes despite the tireless work of dedicated teachers and administrators points to deeper systemic issues that demand our attention, Swanson said in a message attached to the full education report. Assessments in the report were conducted for the school year 2023-24, meaning those 11th grade students are now in their senior year of high school. In SY 23-24, GDOE also spent roughly twice as much in per pupil costs than it did a year ago, $16,086, of which about $4,961 was federally funded. In other news, a tropical storm watch is now in effect for Guam, Rota, Tinian, and Saipan, the National Weather Service Weather Forecast Office Guam said Monday night. It means that tropical storm conditions, including winds of 39 miles per hour or greater, are possible as early as Tuesday night or Wednesday. Tropical storm Man-yi as of Monday afternoon was 505 miles east of Guam with maximum sustained winds of 40 miles per hour. Man-yi is forecast to slowly intensify over the next couple of days, including as it passes through the Marianas. And finally, Biba Veterans was the cheer from hundreds who gathered at the Governor Joseph Flores Memorial Park at Ipoh Beach Monday for the annual Veterans Day celebration. Celebrants stood out in the humid, rainy weather on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, hours after a tropical disturbance passed by the island. Today, we gather to honor the countless sacrifices made by our veterans, the great protectors of both our nation and our values. Colonel Alejandro Buniag, Chief of Staff for the new Joint Task Force Micronesia, said to the crowd. Acting Governor Joshua Tenorio extended his heartfelt thanks for the service of every veteran present. Tenorio said there's no update yet on the possibility of a regional Veterans Claims Processing Center for Guam, something Governor Lulian Guerrero called for on Veterans Day 2022, just days after she and Tenorio won their re-election bid. Acting Governor Joshua Tenorio on Monday said he has tasked the Guam Visitors Bureau to try and track down as much information about the 34 Japanese tourists who fell ill with symptoms of suspected food poisoning after coming back from a trip to Guam. Tenorio also confirmed that the Guam Department of Public Health and Social Services would eventually be the agency investigating the case. But as of Monday, both GVB and Public Health remain mum on what, if any, they have done so far to help pinpoint the source of the suspected food poisoning. Japan-based media organizations reported that 2 flights arrived in Japan from Guam Thursday, carrying a group of high school students and their teachers who fell ill with symptoms of suspected food poisoning. In other news, a draft Guam Visitors Bureau Board resolution shows GVB is working on a 3-year, $7.6 million marketing deal with English pro football team Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. The team is captained by South Korean soccer star Son Heung-min. The draft resolution is still subject to changes or may not even be acted on at all. Son Heung-min is not only the captain of the English Premier League club, but is also the captain of the South Korean national team. The proposed deal comes at a time when Guam's tourism recovery from the pandemic is among the slowest in the world, and GVB has been looking for new and creative ways to drive demand, especially from its major tourism markets of Korea and Japan. And finally, the Department of Public Works will now help mayors deal with the long-standing problem of junk and abandoned vehicles on the roadside. Mayor's Council of Guam President Jesse Allig said during the council's meeting last week that Public Law 37-60, enacted in February, requires DPW to aid mayors with a junk problem. Allig, also the mayor of PD, said he recently asked the department for help with 2 vehicles left in PD, and it worked, he said. The mayor said the removal took about a week, but a week is better than never. Village mayors have been complaining for years about the lengthy and costly process for getting rid of abandoned cars on the roadside. For more of these stories, go to GuamPDN.com and follow us on social media.